First Florida man, and dope is so dope. First Florida man, heard and dope is so dope. Won't you so go show off your photos, throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Fernando de Soto, brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8 subscriber, I'm a bagoso, jump in them sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
He was adjusting the Xena cam. That song ended abruptly. How is everybody doing tonight?
Fantastic. Look at Ava.
I know, she's a good girl.
She's ready.
So I apologize that we're late, but it takes us a while to get our stuff together. So
yeah.
There she is. So first person to super chat can pick what color I make the hall light tonight. How about that?
Oh, that's so fun.
Tell me what color you want it.
So fun.
Can do. Oh, I should probably turn my ringer off.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
You know what's funny? That was a notification telling me that I'm live.
That I had the same thing happen. The same thing.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm live. Thank you for letting me know, phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I always accidentally turn off the ringer and not the notifications, which people don't call my phone anyway, right? They just by the way, if you have my number, don't call me. Just don't call
Ever.
me. Text
Ever.
Text and say, hey, are you available for a call?
Yeah. Do you have 4 minutes?
Yeah, that's it. That's number 2 and I have had this thing since when's like both of us
over a decade.
More than that, because I haven't smoked in over a decade, but the 4 minutes was how long it took to smoke a cigarette, and we
timed it. We both smoked.
We both smoked, so it was like, do you have 4 minutes? Meaning, I'm going to step outside and have a cigarette, and I want somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
But I haven't smoked in 15 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Because when I got married, I still smoked, and I've been married 17 years, so maybe 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, it has to have been. It has to have been.
Anyway, so I got a good show planned tonight. Are you ready?
I'm excited.
And I happen to know, first of all, 2 of the stories, the first 2 that we're going to cover. The first one is a 3-parter, and I'm very excited to show you. And you had told me that you've been offline for a while, so I'm hoping you haven't seen this yet. I'm really hoping. It's a roller coaster of a story.
I might not have. You never know.
First things first, I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello. If you super chat or make any sort of, donation, either Rumble Rant, super chat, buy me a coffee, all of the things, it's in the description, or go to katiez.com and buy any of the merchandise, like this beautiful coffee mug right here. The doggos will get a milk bone on air. There's Xena, my co-host, my normal co-host, number 2 co-host now. And Ava's here. And I also have Duke and Benny here as well, who, by the way, are usually watching from their house. Their mom tells me that they get very excited when I make, when Xena gets her milk bone and I make her big on the screen. They both stop and see.
That's really cute.
Which I think is adorable.
That is.
Hello, Mr. Zed.
Hi, Mr.
Welcome.
Zed.
So I really don't even care. I do care that Mr. Zed's here, but I don't even care who else is here. I'm very excited to get to this first story. So are you ready?
I'm ready. All
right. This is Zoom Court.
I love Zoom Courts, and I really like this judge. I like him a lot.
He's a good judge.
Yeah.
And this is just the first thing that happens. Like I said, this is a 3-parter. Let me know if you can hear it.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present in Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
I saw this.
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
Wait. You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is the driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving,
He was.
and he didn't have a license.
The look on this guy's face right now cracked me up the first time that I saw it. Just cracked me right up. Like he's like he looks like Fat Albert, doesn't he?
I was watching this when my daughter was having her procedure.
Oh, okay.
And I was dumbfounded. I've seen a lot of these Zoom courts, a lot of them. This one almost takes the cake.
It really does. It really does.
Going to court for driving with a suspended license.
Yeah. Have you seen the follow-ups on it?
And he's driving. No, I have not.
Oh, good.
Follow-ups.
Okay. So I get a little. Okay, good.
Excited.
Let's watch the rest of this. I saw some more people popped in here. Just so you know, the first person to super chat can pick. Tell me a color, any color, and I will make the hall light whatever color you want today. It's up to you. All right, here we go. Also, the whole other stuff with the drawing and the milk boat, like all that stuff too. But first one gets to pick a color.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor.
The other thing
factly
that cracked me up is when he's pulling into the parking spot, he's like drawing out his words to give him more time to park. He's like, I'm parking right now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't work. Not in court.
No. Well, who's driving during Zoom court anyway?
Yeah.
In general, who is doing that?
It's like, do you remember that one? It had to be last year at this point that I made the short of where the guy wasn't wearing pants.
Yes. Yes.
He's in Zoom court. And he's in the parking lot of the courthouse, and the judge is like, you need to be in court. And he didn't have any pants. He's like, I can't come inside. I have no pants.
And there's another one where he's got him and his girlfriend have like a restraining order out.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Zoom court together, and they're in the same house.
They were in the same room.
Separate or like next room over or like in the same house or whatever, like that, something like that.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I know. By the way, if you guys see two other dogs walking around, there's Benny and Duke, who just left. Can you hear my washing machine?
I can't hear any volume at all. What's going on?
They're not talking right now.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
My washing machine is like doing the spin cycle right on the other side of that wall right now. I hear it bam, 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 bam.
I don't even know why he would do that.
The look on Doug's
So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Look at him. Stupid.
All right, so that's part one.
Stupid. All he had to do was wait before he left the house and do it from his phone in the comfort of his living room. That's all he had to do.
He didn't even have to be in his living room. He just had to not turn his, like, if he had to be there at a specific time, feign technical difficulties with getting your camera started, park your car, say, I'm here, I'm trying to get it, I'm trying to get my camera on, get out of your car, get up against a brick wall, and then turn your camera on.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Part 2. Part 2.
An update to a story we told you about last week. Remember the man who ended up in jail after he showed up via Zoom to his court appearance for driving with a suspended license while he was driving?
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second.
1 second.
Well, it turns out he says he was driving his wife to the doctor, but more importantly, he says he thought his license had been reinstated, and in fact, he was right. A judge lifted the suspension more than 2 years ago. That information, however, never made it to the Secretary of State's office, and those are the records the judge was going off of.
What was I thinking? I was thinking about getting my wife medical help. That's what I was thinking.
Now, Harris's license was first suspended in 2010 for child support. He's now working to get everything straightened out.
Well, the saga.
So he claims that it was for child support, and he thought it was taken care of 2 years ago, right? And when I saw that follow-up, I internally, I didn't say it out loud, which I wish I would have. I'm like, something's fishy about that, because the only reason is because in the Zoom court, he says, I'm pulling up to my doctor's appointment. And then all of a sudden it's his sick wife. I'm like, something's up with, like, that's, I don't know what it is, but something's up with that.
Story straight, first of all.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? If you don't lie, you don't have to keep your lies straight.
Correct.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
So then Judge Simpson orders him to go, turn himself into the jail, and he does. And the next day he goes in front of Judge Simpson in person. And I have that. This is a longer video, but I would like to go through the whole thing because you'll see.
Okay.
All right.
People are saying, and quite frankly, your client has made the assertion that the Pittsfield Township, as well as this court, was acting on some type of defective or faulty information, which I will tell you, counsel, caused the court, given what the court did, to investigate what my ruling was. And I will tell you that assertion.
Yeah. By the way, he didn't just go on that one news program. I found the shortest one to move the story along. He went on every station that he could. He did phone interviews with everybody he possibly could to tell this story about how he did the circuit, and to tell the story about how it was for back child support. Shocking. And also that he got it taken care of, and the friend of the court, which I guess is something in Michigan, like if you don't know what's happening, there's a friend of the court to explain stuff to you, told him that it was taken care of, and since he paid the child support, his license was reinstated, and the sick wife, and he was in an accident, and he was disabled, and like it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, here we are back in Judge Cedric Simpson's courtroom.
Absolutely correct. With reference to any faulty information that either came through to the Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety or to this court ultimately at the May 15th hearing. And I think it needs to be stated, I've been asked for comments. I have refrained from comments, as is my normal practice is. This court with the pending case will speak on the record. And so I am going to make sure that the record is very, very clear as to what this court knows and what this court acted on May 15th. And we can start with this. And my basis for doing it is because of what was said about what this whole process was.
Judge Simpson
And
don't
that
take no shit.
an
I
indication,
know, I love him.
counsel, and I know, counsel, you've been before me before.
Absolutely.
I know it is not coming from you, but you also know how I am.
I do.
And the thing is that if for whatever reason, the one time in my life I was wrong, I will say it, and did. But when I'm not wrong, and when people are not to blame, then it also needs to be said. So I will try to get through this as quick as I possibly can. But I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day, and some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license. Let me make it very clear, based upon what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever,
Oh,
and has never had a license in the other 49 states and
He's never even
never.
He's and it wasn't he just didn't ever have one. He never went and took the driving test. He
Never.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he
wait.
had the gall to go around and make his rounds.
Yes. Yes.
How do people? How did he?
Did he how did he think it was going to work?
What?
I know.
Did
Like
they
it's
think there wasn't going to be any research done, and
Nope.
this judge was just going to let him talk complete garbage about him in his court?
Yep. Exactly
Oh
that.
my gosh.
It gets better. Let's keep watching.
commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license. In point of fact, when they suspended his
also,
license, and what people do,
He's in court right now in a t-shirt. He showed up to
That's
he
ignorant.
he didn't even get dressed up for court. He just
rolled
showed
out of bed,
in,
took
like,
off his PJ pants.
basketball shorts and a t-shirt. Like who rolls up to court like that?
I don't
don't understand. When they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in this state. Hence, for example, if he had had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. I know you know that, but that wasn't at all said. But it doesn't matter because he didn't have a license. Ever. There is also then, and I will, when it
there's
is
more.
necessary, come to the defense of my sister courts, and I will come to the defense of Saginaw. They got a great chief judge. Chief judge answered the question. But I will tell you, that court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His license was his driving privileges, better stated, were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something.
But he never had
He
a
didn't do
license, so
it.
how does that work?
Well, okay, so here's how it works. Is because he owed back child support. Normally, if you have a license, they just suspend your license. But since he didn't have a license, they just put a stop. So if he went to go get a license, he couldn't. So his privileges to get a license were
So they
revoked.
double stopped.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotcha.
But since he never had one, really nothing happened to him.
Yeah.
And there's really nothing else because there's no debtors, prison or anything here.
Right.
Although I've heard of people going to jail for back child support. I don't know if that's
Oh.
I don't know anything about child support or anything like that. So either way, that's what it is in Michigan, is if you owe back child support, I guess there might be different levels to it or whatever. Like I said, I'm not read up on the bylaws of the child support laws of Michigan. But in this particular case, it is that if he went to go get a license, he wouldn't have been able to.
Gotcha.
Therefore, the friend of the court was under no obligation to send
Also,
anything.
I don't know what the friend of the court is exactly, but from what I understand, it's somebody who helps a lay person through the process of court, like somebody who can translate legalese to English.
Yeah.
The Secretary of State. Now, I hated that I had to look at all of this, but when there's a question as to what I did, I'm going to look at everything to make sure that what I did was all in order. There's then an indication from that because that wasn't sent, there was a direct attack on Michigan's Department of Secretary of State's office, saying that the Secretary of State was somehow at fault. Let me tell you something. Secretary of State did what they were supposed to do. And in point of fact, they did nothing because they hadn't gotten anything from the court because Mr. Harris had not paid the reinstatement. This week, or the latter part of last week, once he paid that, Saginaw friend of the court did what they should do, and they sent it. Immediately, based upon the information that I have, the Secretary of State did what they do every day. They took that suspension off of his driving record, and he was then unsuspended. And then your client did what he needed to do with reference to the Secretary of State and paid a reinstatement. Okay. Just a second, Mr. Schiller. I'm going to let everybody respond because
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am not done yet.
Okay.
He is not done yet. He's going to let everybody talk who wants to talk. And guess who wants to talk?
Right now it's the judge's turn.
It's
So
the-
you let him talk.
Yes.
All right.
You covered a lot of the points for me. Thank you, Your Honor.
And
Don't forget, guys, whoever super chats first gets to pick whatever color I make the hall light during the show today. So first super chat, pick any color at all.
so that came down to that. So the information at the time that I had, that Pittsfield Department of Public Safety had, was all correct at the time of both Pittsfield stop as well as the May 15th day. It was all correct. There was no error by anybody. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid. Now, here's the other thing, and I'm like maybe in church where I say I'm about finished now. But the other part of this is this stop was in October. Most of the cases that we've heard just in this last afternoon are driving while license suspended cases. That's part of my Wednesday afternoon. We go through great pains to try to get people their licenses back, which is really how it should happen. Between October and because I don't live under a rock, I actually watch things. You look very nice on TV.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, the lawyer went on.
There was
TV.
something that was sad, that was very disturbing to me. And I'm just going to let you know because I believe in being fair with everybody. The question was asked along the lines between October of 2023 and the point in time of the May 15th hearing. Was there an attempt by Mr. Harris to correct his license? Here's the part that was disturbing for me, so that you know.
Okay.
Mr. Harris indicated that at some point he had been involved in some accident. Then being involved into the accident that he was basically bedridden or at least housebound, he could not get to the Secretary of State. That was set up there, and I'm going to presume, because my knowledge of counsel, defense counsel is, I know you don't misrepresent anything.
Right.
You never do.
Right.
That's not true.
Okay.
Because I watched you on the news yesterday, lady. That's not true.
That's funny.
He purposely stated that he could not get to the Secretary of State, which, for the way we handle things in this court, would have placed him in a whole different category. We would have tried to find a way. Let's figure it out. And the reason I know that is because Mr. Harris, on December 28th of 2023,
Wait
do
for it.
you know where you were?
December 28th, 23.
23rd.
2023.
Where were you on December 23rd, 2023? This is the question on the table in the courtroom right now. Let's see how he answers.
I know I was laid up from my
You were
accident.
at the Secretary of State's office. And you were at the Secretary of State's office because you redid and got your new Michigan ID.
Bam! There it is. In Michigan, you cannot have a driver's license and a state ID. And in December of 2023, he renewed his state ID. He knew he didn't have a license. And the look of joy on Judge Simpson's face here, the look of, like, I feel like, judges are lawyers, and
Yes.
and now they were lawyers. I feel like he has that moment that
Look at his face, the plus
yeah,
game.
like, when you get that the Perry Mason moment or whatever, I feel like he's living his youth right here. It's good to see it, Judge Simpson.
I have the date. That's the date you did it. December 28th, 2023. You did. And so that you also know, and in all fairness to counsel, because I don't know if counsel knows this or not, the way I know that he's never had a license is because May 3rd, 1990, he was 19 at the time. May 3rd, 1999, he applied for his first Michigan ID. Counsel knows, so I do. You cannot have both. You either have an ID or you have a license.
One or the other.
One of the two. He has religiously every year gotten a new ID. And so he knows that he doesn't have a license. And quite frankly, I just wish he would have said that at the beginning. And all of this hoopla could have been just put all aside. And we all go through the process as we do with all of the people coming here to try to get him his license back. But his falsehoods, misstatements are not going to fare him well in this court.
We all saw this video. I wasn't in court. I wasn't even on YouTube watching the court today, right? I saw it because someone saw it and decided to post it. I can assure you that was not Mr. I don't think he has the capacity to be able to post it like that on YouTube or Instagram. So that was not him.
What?
He doesn't have the capacity to post it.
Why?
By the way, we got a Rumble rant from Smith W, who requested a black light, which is not, I should have, I don't have a black light in my hallway, but the closest I have is purple. So we have purple. So if anybody else super chats and wants to change the color, do it. Let me know what color you want. I don't know if this lawyer understands how easy it is to post on Instagram or YouTube, which he may not have, but whatever. Look at Judge Simpson taking a sip of his coffee, just sitting back like,
happened to take off and go viral. So he had no.
Let me rewind it.
We saw was him saying.
Let me rewind it just a smidge
Yes,
so we can
please.
hear what she's saying with the baloney she's about to spew. Yeah.
Nonsense.
I'm going to also give the doggos a couple of cookies while this is playing. Thank you very much, Smith W. He became a monthly supporter over on Rumble.
Nice.
Much appreciated. And also donated a dollarino to change the light color to purple.
But he was driving, which he should not have been driving, right? We're told not to drive on Zoom while doing that. So that's how this came to the attention, because the court, I saw you. He said, I can't believe this. Is he driving? And we all said that. Everyone who saw that video asked the same question. And that just became a joke. It became a complete joke. Now, with respect to what we want to do, and I cannot say anything is with respect to what my client has said, but when we talk about the hoopla, my client didn't start the hoopla. Perhaps he's made some comments, but he didn't start the hoopla whatsoever. That was someone that was outside of his control as to how it went viral. He had no control over that. And that I'm going to stand on that. He did not send it out to Instagram. He didn't send it out to wherever. He didn't do that part. So with respect to, did he have I don't want to try this case today at all, but what I want to do is focus on what's good. Now, what was good? That day in October, this officer here, that could have gone a whole other direction. And I'm so happy that you were so kind and courteous to my client. Thank you, officer. Thank you so much, because it could have gone another direction. We are here right now. My client has an appointment to go to
I expect her to start singing We Didn't Start the Fire right now.
Oh my gosh, she's ridiculous.
I know. We didn't start it.
She is.
You did, by driving in Zoom court. That's how it started. That's how the whole thing got rolling.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Secretary of State for his permit. He's working on that. I want to focus on how do we correct this and cure this? How do we go forward with this situation? Whatever, he was not under oath under any of the things that he said. So we're not talking about any type of perjury going on. Very true, right?
True.
So with that being the case, let's move forward with this. He is here. This is what I'd like. Because
let me just
let me stop you right there.
Let's back it up a bit.
Roll a little bit here, lady. Just settle down.
Gosh.
Or two on this case. We handle these cases all the time. But I will tell you, as you know, having appeared before me, the one thing I don't like is when people don't take responsibility for what they've done. When they take responsibility for it, we will use whatever we can to try to get you to another spot, because it doesn't behoove any of us for you to be in that spot. One other thing that I will say, when you say it wasn't started by him, it certainly was. It certainly was when he made his first statement to WXYZ about blaming people for this happening. And he shouldn't have done it, because when you look at the whole thing, the person that needed to be blamed, and we can go back to a lot of other points, but I'm not here to embarrass it, but the person that needed to be blamed is the person that he was staring at in the mirror. He didn't do what he should have done.
What we're looking for, because there are some options here. My client has indicated to me and would like me to indicate to the court that he is in the process of procuring his license. Hopefully that privilege will be available to him, but he does have, as you stated earlier, and I have the receipts, he did pay the reinstatement.
Are you paying attention to the looks on Joe Simpson's face? It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. He's so great.
Those fees are paid. Anything that was out in the previous court, those fees have been paid, and I've been presented with those receipts. In addition, on tomorrow, he's got his permit test coming up, and then after that, because he's an adult, he's working on it so that he can take advantage of the officer.
He's taking his driver's permit test. He's got it all lined up and scheduled. So now you're going to tell me what you were saying on the news yesterday was the truth about him having a license? Like, he scheduled his permit test. It's ridiculous.
That are available, because as you say, this court does want to help. Absolutely. And with that, because my client was in an accident, and I haven't seen the medical records, but because of some of the things it could be, I don't know. but sometimes our memories get a little foggy. Now, am I going back to 1999? No, I'm not. But I'm just saying that I'm saying from this day forward, he is working diligently to take the steps necessary to get his driver's license so he can take advantage of the generous offer.
Yep. So
could you imagine this judge at like with his grandchildren with his glasses, like at Thanksgiving dinner, just I don't know, sitting at the head of the table.
I know.
With a turkey in front of him. I don't know. I can picture all this stuff.
Just the guy and the lawyer were talking, just the look on Judge Simpson's face was stinking priceless. I loved every minute of that.
He's great. I really do enjoy
I
his Zoom
do.
courts.
There's
I really
another
do.
one in Michigan. I can't remember his name, but he looks like a hippie dude with a ponytail. You know what I'm talking about? He's a white guy.
Possibly.
You'd know him if you saw him. You'd know
Yeah.
him if you saw him. All right, let's see what the news has to say about
Back behind bars.
Oh yeah.
Tonight, a shocking twist for the man who went viral for
I said there was 3 parts. There's 4 parts. This is the last part.
Nice.
driving during a virtual court hearing for a suspended license.
Corey Harris showed up in person at a Washtenaw County courthouse today, hoping to set the record straight and put this entire saga behind him. Instead, we're reporting on a brand new chapter.
7 News Detroit reporter Kimberly Craig has been keeping up with the twists and turns of this one. She was in court today as it all unfolded.
Well, nothing went the way Corey Harris thought it was going to go in court today.
Can we talk about this lady's voice?
I know. She's been smoking since she was 3 and a half.
I know. Kimberly, take it away. Well, it started on Thursday when he showed up to Zoom court, driving for a suspended license. And the judge ordered him to come in to the courtroom.
Nothing went the way Corey Harris thought it was going to go in court today.
I wasn't even exaggerating. It sounded.
I thought that was you still. That was perfect.
It sounded just like her.
Yes, it did.
It all started on Thursday.
Well, nothing went the way Corey Harris thought it was going to go in court today. The judge started off by slamming Corey Harris, saying he's never even had a valid driver's license. And the afternoon ended with Harris going to jail.
The person that needed to be blamed is the person that he was staring at in the mirror. He didn't do what he should have done.
The judge came ready to set the record straight with Corey Harris, who has claimed that he thought the suspension on his driver.
Did you see what his shirt says?
No. What did it say?
Trust me. It says
Oh,
trust me.
jeez.
His shirt says trust me. Sorry. His shirt says trust me.
Corey Harris, who has claimed that he thought the suspension on his driver's license was removed 2 years ago.
That court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His driving privileges were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it.
The judge said Harris never paid his clearance fees with the court or the Secretary of State to lift the suspension, but that's not all.
He has never had a Michigan license. Ever.
We asked Harris yesterday if he ever had a valid driver's license. He claimed he didn't remember. Do you ever recall having one? Having a driver's license?
I knew I had a permit. I knew that.
A driver's permit or?
Their voices are the same octaves.
Yeah, what?
This man and this woman.
I believe. I don't know. I can't say yes and I can't say no.
And that's odd because the Pittsfield Township police
cannot
officer and
hear her
prosecutor
voice
said
without
during that
laughing.
October traffic stop, Corey Harris knew what was up.
At least twice during this traffic stop, he acknowledged to the officer that he did not have a valid license. Quote unquote, quote, actually, I don't have a valid license.
Quote unquote. Isn't that a Mr. Bungle song?
Ah, it is.
As soon as he said that, I'm like, I like that song.
It is. Mr.
The
Bungle.
question was, are you a valid driver? Quote, I am not.
There was no error by anybody. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid.
Then came the unexpected.
He has a warrant for his arrest.
Corey Harris was taken into custody for what appears to be a
He had a
9-year-old bench warrant
warrant.
out of Allen Park.
Oh, did you see the back of his shirt?
Yeah, I did.
So the front of his shirt says "Trust me," and the back of his shirt has his fingers crossed.
Yeah. Good
Why
luck.
would you pick that shirt to wear to court? Why?
Maybe it's his good luck charm. Should
Oh
pick
my
the one.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
A 9-year-old bench warrant out of Allen Park.
I didn't notice the back of the shirt before. I noticed the front of the shirt.
A 9-year-old bench warrant. 9
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't understand how when he got pulled over the first time.
Yeah.
How
does
they
that
didn't pick him
happen?
up. Do you see Ava building a fort over here, a pillow fort?
No, I.
So was I
Oh,
shocked?
now I see her.
Absolutely. Did I want my client to walk in and then get escorted to the
What, you
back?
talking about me?
Absolutely not. That was not the plan.
The shocking thing about it is for a driving while license suspended that he didn't take care of.
It should be something that a lesson for all of us. Handle your business. At the end of the day, handle your business.
In Ann Arbor, Kimberly Craig, 7 News, Detroit.
But he
Thank you,
didn't
Kim.
do nothing wrong.
Thank you, Kimberly Craig, for that gripping report. Didn't do nothing.
Anybody that has just shown up, it looks like we have some new people that have joined us.
Yeah.
If you super chat, you can pick the color of the lights in Katie's hallway.
Yes. So any super chat, put a color as well as whatever your message is.
Yes.
And we
you
will
may pick
change
the color in Katie's hallway.
we will change the background colors. So tell me, what do you think of that story?
Interactive. That's what we are.
Interactive. Woo, you're big. There you go. Look at that smile. You look so pretty today.
Oh, thank you.
I was talking to Ava. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, Ava. I mean,
sorry, Ava.
sorry, Ava.
Anyway, so how's everybody doing out there? We actually have people now. When we first started, we were late, and I know people were here and then left or whatever. So let's say hi to the chat while we're here.
All right.
They would stop moving around, or I get a wider camera angle. I don't know. Ava's just laying on Zena's feet, so it looks like she's got little paws coming out of her belly.
Oh, there's Zena. I didn't even know Zena was there. I thought it was just Ava.
Yeah, no, Zena's there, and
I
there's
see her now.
Zena's little toes are sticking out from underneath Ava. The claw. Hello. Oh, I forgot to send you an invite for yesterday, Claw. I'm sorry. We had game night yet. We switched game night and Friday night crime because of previous obligations that we had going on. But next month for sure, because it's always fun to have you around. I think it was so mess. It was last minute. There's a lot of people I forgot to send invites to. So my apologies if you missed game night last yesterday. Anybody who missed game night, my apologies. But we will definitely get you all in next game night. Colonel Angus, always good to see you. Remind me or message me later. Just message me later and say you told me to message you to remind you or something. Just message me later. I'll remember. Erica, always good to see you. Yo mama. Hey guys, remember, yo mama is my mama, so behave yourselves in the chat over there. Behave. Mr. Zed is here, but he's not here. He's here, but not here. Little Sumo Gemma. new face, new name. Hey, if you like it, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you think I've earned a like. I think that's it. We have 5 whole people here. Oh, little tiny Chihuahua life. I almost said your old. Christo is here. Yes, Christo. I think
Highway
that's.
Star.
Yeah, thank you. Get some more people because I can't scroll anymore.
Okay.
If I missed anybody.
Crystal, Highway Star, My Tiny Chihuahua Life.
Which I keep wanting to say, like Little Chihuahua Big World, because that was her old name. Yeah. Yo Mama has 3 dogs talking to Ava right now. I have 4 dogs here. Mandy was here. Mandy Thomas was here in the chat earlier. I know they're busy. Mr. Zed and Mandy are together right now, but her dogs are here too. So if you see other pups running around, that is Mandy Thomas's dogs, and they are Duke and what's the other one's name? Why can't Benny? Like I'm like, why can't I remember the names? Benny and Duke are here as well. So if they're in here when you all super chat, I will give them treats as well. Next story, I'm so excited to show you this one as well. Now, number 2, you've flown on an airplane before, correct?
Correct.
Have you ever been seated in an exit row? Or near an exit row?
Probably.
Like where at the beginning of the flight, the rule is, and this is like a federal law, not just a rule, not just an airplane rule, like it's not Delta's rule or whatever. The flight attendant has to say, just so you know, you're seated in an exit row. They have to make sure you're not disabled, because if shit hits the fan, you have to be able to open the door and help people. Like you have to be capable.
Yeah.
Like the exit row, you see that it's like the exit door there. You have to be able, they show you, like they tell you, like you have to pull this up and push out, or, you know, whatever the thing is.
Okay.
And you have to, and they make you give a verbal, you can't even just nod your head. You have to verbally say, yes, I agree to help if there's an emergency. Which,
okay, so apparently I have not ever been in this position.
I always try to book the exit row just because there's always more leg room, but the only drawback is you usually don't get the little TV, and your seat won't recline, which is fine with me because I don't normally recline anyway, and also I don't normally watch the TV anyway. So it's fine by me. I've also had the exit row booked, and then I saw a guy get on the plane who was like 7 feet tall. Had to be like his head was hitting the top, and I switched seats with him because I felt so bad for him. He was like squeezed in the seat. I'm like, sir, can we just switch, because I can't be looking at you all sad the rest of this flight. And yeah, he was very grateful. So all right, so here's where we're at. We're on an airplane, and there's an exit row, and the flight attendant's going to give the spiel and say, do you agree? I need a verbal yes that you understand, right?
Okay.
We already agreed. Yeah, she's talking to me. What is the problem? Because she don't want to tell us her name.
So all they have to say is, I agree.
Oh my gosh, it's always something.
And you can hear the guys who, like, they're off camera, but in the other side of the aisle on the exit row say we've already agreed. Because she's saying, well, you didn't ask them, you didn't ask them. And first of all, it's only that row. And the other people in the exit row have already agreed. So that's, this is where we're starting.
That's ridiculous.
This is where we're starting the video.
We already agreed. Yeah, she's talking to me. What is the problem? Because she don't want to tell us her name. Okay, well, you want to tell me to cut my music down so I can tell me that. A problem? What's the problem? We ain't got no problem with that. We understand we got to help people get off the plane and help Betty White get something out. What's the problem? We agree. You wasting your breath. They gonna take this plane off the ground. Did you ask her to agree? You ain't doing your job. Yeah. No nonsense going on. You better get out of my face is what you need to do, Betty.
I want to get your reaction, your initial reaction. We still have like 4 minutes left on this video.
This is insane to me. What in the hell?
We're not going to agree, Betty. Who's Betty, first of all? And what is with people just making up random names for people? Like, that's an insult. Like, what?
Why is there so much animosity immediately for literally
Zero
reason?
Zero reason.
Like none. Like no
Yeah.
reason whatsoever. There's
Nope.
like what just happened?
There's more.
Get out of my face is what you need to do, Betty.
She's upset. She had her headphones on. She's having her snack. She was upset that she was interrupted. I think, I don't know for sure, because who the heck knows with these people, right? Like people who act like this, who knows why they're really upset?
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's the only thing I can conclude.
Why aren't the people that she's with telling her to shut the hell up and just relax? Is what I want.
They're egging her on.
No,
they didn't agree either, but they're egging her on.
You ain't got to worry about two things. One black girl named Erica. Yeah. Girl. Relate? No. That lady came and asked us, we got witnesses. We all agreed.
We got witnesses.
Why they always have to have a damn witness.
We got witnesses.
Always have to have a witness. Everybody.
Sorry, go ahead.
I know. Just keep going.
The flight attendant over here. Because we all agreed. Everybody can witness that. And my grandson is getting off out of school, and his mama took a flight to Mexico, and I'm not getting.
Ladies and gentlemen,
guess
for the
what,
couple
ladies?
passengers that we're asking
Keep
to
up
please-
your mouth running, and we'll see who gets off the plane.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see. Oh, we're gonna see. It's gonna ramp up a little bit here in a minute.
I can't wait.
We're gonna see.
A flight to Mexico, and I'm not getting.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the couple passengers that we're asking to please be removed.
No, my grandson is 4 years old, and he's getting out of school. It really was. No, we all agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be underway here shortly. We got to take care of this issue here. Law enforcement will be arriving.
Really?
Law enforcement will
Yes.
be arriving shortly.
Good. Good.
By the way, if you guys aren't subscribed to my Rumble, go over there because the chat over there is hilarious right now. At the moment.
I disagree with her.
Accident, so
She is lying.
please,
I'm gonna ask you one more time, nicely, to get off the top. We're gonna be board the plane, and they please don't come to escort you on.
Well, I'm calling my attorney because we didn't do anything wrong, and they asked us to agree.
Okay. I'm sorry I keep pausing it, but
No,
I
it's
brought this up the other day. I forget who I was talking to. But if you are in a situation like this, do you have, and this is a question for the whole chat. I want everyone to answer yes or no. Yes or no question. If you are in a situation like this, do you have an attorney's phone number in your phone to call? Do you have I need to call my attorney? Do you have an attorney in your phone? Yes or no?
No.
Number 2?
No.
I have an attorney. I have a couple of attorneys in my phone. They are real estate attorneys. So I don't know what good they do me. In a situation like this, I'm not sure a real estate attorney could help me out. Colonel Angus says, yes, he does. You have a criminal, like a criminal attorney? Erica says yes. Interesting. Christo does not have one. No, he's a prosecutor. That's not going to help you, yo mama. Our brother, my brother-in-law, I guess her, I don't know, a family member of ours is a assistant district attorney, but that's not going to help you. Although I think maybe if I was in a situation like this and I did need an attorney, I would call Rusty, the ADA. That's a family member of ours because he would know a good criminal defense attorney because like that would be his opponent in court, right? So he would know who's good and who's not, I would think. Anyway,
I may have to move because the sun is coming in, and do you see how I look?
yeah, but I like you look
Does
good.
it look okay?
Yeah, it
Are you
looks
sure?
good.
Because
if it's not bothering you, it looks good.
Okay, because in my
Let's see.
camera,
Everybody,
I look like I have
Should-
no face.
should number 2 move out of the sun?
I
right
look like
now?
I have no face to me.
Should she move out of the sun? Yes or no?
I'm so big.
Sorry about that. I think it looks fine.
Okay, the sun's going away. Okay, we're
Okay.
good. We're good.
All right.
Woo!
Yeah, screwed up rebellion. She
right.
does look great, doesn't she? Number 2 is a beautiful woman, and I try to tell her.
Oh, shucks.
We got a whole
But we'll talk about it outside.
We'll talk about it outside.
That's fine, ma'am. I understand everything, but we'll have to have outside aircraft to talk about.
Sir, no, that's not legal. I'm getting my
It's not legal. She's saying it's not legal to be asked to step out of the airplane. How is
got
that
news
not
for
legal? Yeah, I got it. You're gonna be really surprised.
My But I mean, I got a grandson that's been out of school for my grandson. You have to
It is totally devolved at this point. I got a grandson to pick up from school at 4:30.
Yeah.
Well,
In Mexico.
maybe you should have just agreed to open the door if the plane crashes. Then maybe you should have done that.
Yeah.
If you don't get off,
This flight was canceled, I'm telling you, and you're not going to get paid enough.
The dang pilot, there's 4 stripes on his epaulette right here. So there's 4 stripes there, which means this is the stinking pilot right now talking to her, and she's arguing with him. She's arguing with the dang pilot of the plane.
Yeah, this craziness.
Getting off the plane, you know, we're either all getting off with you or you're getting off by yourself.
Oh, there they are. He rolls up with a bike helmet on. He's ready to go. He is ready.
Why did you take that off, stupid? You're stupid.
I think it's smart to leave it on. Actually, you never know what's going to be flying at your head when you're dealing with people like this, right? Like you just never know.
Snacks everywhere, going straight for the head.
I'd leave it on. Okay, Slap Weasel over on Rumble makes a good point. It says when people get appointed an attorney by the court for free, they then claim that as their attorney.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's not the exact words that he used. You guys can go look on Rumble if you want to see the exact wording, but that's the general gist of it.
Yeah.
You help somebody, we'd have paid enough to see that about to get off. And handcuffs.
They got Rosa Parks in handcuffs.
They got Rosa Parks in handcuffs. They're gonna march her right down these stairs. She doesn't even get to go back in the airport. They're taking her right to this cop car right here.
Look at him. She got everybody off the flight because of her dumb ass. Whole game. Rosa Parks got a little bit of bread. She can fly these rich. Yeah. That's a long way from the bus. Yeah, look at it.
They should have.
And her shirt say God on it.
Yeah.
They should have just dragged her down, like by her hair, Fred Flintstone style.
They should have put her down this luggage chute right here.
One of the two would have been great. It would have been great footage.
Can I just say the commentary from the people inside of this airport that had to deplane right now? It's
They're
amazing.
mad.
It makes the video. It really does.
She could have so bad.
They're gonna throw her in the back of the trunk with that road cone.
Why is she walking so slow? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, fat? I'm not sure.
Now she's going to be feigning injury or something.
Oh yeah, she's gonna have to go to the hospital.
Oh, immediately.
Mhm.
Hospital. She's hurt.
I need medical attention.
Yes. Yes, she was hurt.
What's up? They got a tutu or something. That's great. They said what happened to her. She wouldn't give up her seat.
So those are the two stories that I really wanted to get to today. And I said it'd take about a half an hour, but I paused a lot, so it took 39 minutes.
Yeah. That was perfect.
Those
That was
were
good.
like,
That was good.
I'm glad I did good, right?
Yeah.
I did good.
Yes.
All right, this one's going to piss you off. You ready?
Sweet.
Oh, this one pissed me off. Imagine, if you will, take yourself back in the day when you were in, say, 8th grade. And I don't know about you. I didn't know you in 8th grade. We met in high school, I think. But I rode the city bus because we lived in the city, right? So at a young age, I think younger back then than people allow their children to today. But I can
Yeah.
remember like 6th, 7th, 8th grade taking the city bus to wherever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I maybe not 6th grade, 7th and 8th grade probably. Like going to the mall, we would go to the Hip.
Yes, the Hip.
Or Rolling Stone Record, you know. And we would jump on the CTA and take the bus.
The 90.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You remember the route number?
Yeah.
Wowzers. I would not have remembered the route number. It was Harlem Avenue.
The Harlem. Yep,
Yeah.
The Harlem bus.
It
The
was
90.
Yeah. I didn't remember the number. That's
The
crazy.
Higgins bus, I believe, was 85 or 88. Anyway,
remember
go ahead
the
with your story.
So these
Right ahead.
two young ladies are sitting at the bus stop waiting for a bus. They're in middle school.
Police are hunting for suspects behind a frightening attack and a robbery of a young girl in Long Beach.
A surveillance camera captured the brutal assault. The suspects preyed on the teenager Thursday afternoon at a bus stop near Studebaker Road and Keynote Street. Our Rachel Manitoff joins us live from the scene with reaction from neighbors. Rachel.
Corinne Rick, officers were called.
Yes, they were at the bus stop and
called to this bus stop over here at this intersection. And according to police, a car drove up to this corner. Two teenagers were sitting on the bus, presumably waiting for they were sitting on a bench, presumably waiting for the bus or to be picked up. When that car pulled up to this corner, two men got out. One of them attacked the girl, stole her necklace, and then took off. Here's the video of it. This is taken from a neighbor's Ring doorbell camera showing the brazen, disturbing attack. As you mentioned, this happened on Thursday, May 30th, just after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You see the two suspects exit their car. They mill around the bus stop. They even sit down next to the two teens for a bit before one of the men lashes out at the little girl. You can see him go after her. The other teen and several others are clearly fearful and go running in all directions. The suspects fled before police arrived, but as you see, they're driving a black sedan. Many in the area are understandably upset and shaken by this attack.
The kids were just sitting there, I guess, just waiting for the bus, and it's very scary. You don't know what can happen.
These poor little girls sitting there, waiting to go home, feeling safe, and then that happened to them. And you could see the terror on their faces as they ran by. Yeah.
You said your grandkids are in town, and you're you're particularly vigilant.
Yes. Well, I am anyway, but now they're not coming out unless I'm out.
Because of this particular incident?
Yeah, absolutely.
And other than the trauma of the attack, police say the victim wasn't injured. They are looking for more information about the potential suspects in this case. If you know anything, call over to Long Beach PD.
How scary is that?
Yeah.
This reminds me of when I was in high school. I know I've told this story before, but I was walking to school I was actually from the IHOP. We would all meet at IHOP over there on Belmont before school. The guys from St. Patrick and then me. Because I didn't have any friends.
It was always a bunch of guys and then me.
Well,
or a
it
bunch of
wasn't
guys and then us.
Yeah, like we were friends with all guys because
Yeah.
girls kind of suck. No offense, ladies
No,
out
it's
there.
true.
But I just really wasn't friends with a lot of women and like ever. Like even I was gonna say in high school, but even now,
Yeah, no, I know.
but I was walking to school. It was 1 block away from the IHOP to the high school, and the guys' school was the other direction. So the guys would go that way, and I'd go up Mango Avenue to the school. And a guy was walking on the sidewalk. Like I was walking to school, he was coming this way. And as soon as he got past me, he grabbed my book bag, turned me around, and I think he was trying to take my book bag, which why would you try to steal a backpack with textbooks in it? I'm not sure, but whatever. But I was a nerd and I wore both shoulders, mainly because it was more comfortable that way. And I didn't really care how I looked. I still kind of don't. But I spun around and he punched me in the face. And I had one of those necklaces that was very popular back then that had your name, like a gold necklace. And it said Katie, like a plate or whatever. That's so dumb. I don't know why I thought that was cool.
It was in script.
It was in cursive. Yep.
Mhm.
And he snatched that off of my neck, and there was a bruise on the back of my neck, and my face was bruised right here. And me being an idiot, and I still kind of have this mentality, but I remembered after he started running away that I had mace in my pocket, and I think it was actual mace back then. It wasn't even pepper spray. It was actual mace that my dad had given me, and I ran after the guy. I chased him around the block, and he came back and looped around down the alley back towards the IHOP, and I got all the way to the alley and I couldn't catch up with him or whatever. And then I ended up getting in trouble because it was because I went to school and obviously I was bruised up and I think I might have had a bloody nose or whatever. And I told the school what happened and they called my parents And my dad, I can remember coming up there at the time. I don't know where mom was, but I remember dad got mad at me because I chased after the guy. And he's like, what were you thinking? Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself like I chased the guy down an alley? Like, what are you doing? I didn't get in trouble, but I remember having a stern talking to about, you're a girl, you're a woman, you cannot beat up grown men, like let it go, it's just money,
Yeah.
that whole thing. Anyways, this story reminded me of that. So I'm gonna put you off camera for a minute and we're gonna go into ad time. If
Okay.
that's okay with you. Did you have anything to add to the story?
No.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay. So, guys and gals, I didn't have the website pulled up already, but we'll get that going. Have you visited charities.com? Have you? We'll get set up. And then we'll start. I want to have like a good ad. Maybe I can record this and just play the ad from now on instead of stopping the show. Anyway, charities.com is a website, and I'll show it to you here. It's a very nice website. Why isn't it doing it? Oh, I have to press the buttons in the correct order. So, if you go to charities.com, we have all sorts of merchandise over there. Great stuff, great stuff. If you like Crimeland, which is the show you're watching right now, there is Crimeland merchandise. This lovely coffee mug is only $15, and it's the big one. It's the same size as this mug, where there's room for your cream and sugar instead of a little tiny one. I fill mine up with my Keurig 10 ounces, and then I have room. I put whole milk and Splenda in mine. It's great. $15 over there plus shipping. And not only that, you can get this lovely notebook that says not my How to Get Away with Crime notebook. So while you're watching the show, if you need to take notes of anything, how to get away with crime. I'm sorry, not how to get away with crime. Like last week, we had this whole story about this lady who was a crime scene investigator who didn't realize that her cell phone could be tracked to where she was at. Make a note of that. Leave your cell phone at home if you're going to commit a crime. Why would you bring it with you? That's just silly. That's just silliness. It is summertime right now. For $19.50, you could get this lovely, lovely tank top. Mr. Zed has one of these, and he wears it to mow the lawn. It's that soft, very soft material. It's very nice. Regular t-shirts, several different colors. Personally, for the Crimeland one, I like the yellow. I think that looks sharp. I also enjoy... This is the yellow that I like. Sorry. This one. I don't have one of these, but I think I might have to get myself one. Isn't that a nice design? I love that design. I did it myself. All right, so that's Crimeland. You can also get the Overruled merchandise. Same sort of stuff. Over at Overruled, we have this. It says Crimeland on one side and Overruled on the back. And it's the old design because I haven't redesigned it yet. Here, let me grab it. I'll show you. Oof. It's right here. It says Overruled on one side, Crimeland on the other. And I keep all my pens in there. Keep them all in there. Highlighters, Sharpies, all sorts of stuff. If you're ever looking for a pen at my house, you come right in here, and they're over here. Oof. This is the Not My How to Get Away with Crime notebook. It's a hardcover, and the sheets are perforated. So if you make notes and you need to take it with you, you can tear that out. It's perforated. All sorts of good stuff. I see you, Colonel Angus. Give me 1 second. The sweatshirts are very nice and soft and fuzzy on the inside. It says overruled big on the back and a little overruled on the front. Of course, you're all here to see Xena. Nobody's really here to see me. Nobody's here to see me. So you can get your Xena merchandise here as well. The tropical blue is a good one in this. And of course, Xena, she heard her name. There she is. Literally, what she does every episode is just lay there. I'm kind of filibustering till number 2 gets back, by the way. I don't normally have an ad this long, so we're just going to talk about merchandise till she gets back. But I designed this one as well with Xena laying down, little grin, because when we're talking about the awful stuff that we talk about here, sometimes you need a little puppy time just to take the edge off, you know? So you need a little of that to get through it, right? Hi, Nexus Moon. Good to see you. I'm filibustering till my co-host gets back. In case you're wondering, this show is not one giant advertisement. And if you want your pet to look sharp, you can get a True Crime with Xena featuring Katie Z bandana. It attaches right onto their collar. Also over there at katiez.com, you can pick up Stephen Ignormus Jr.'s merchandise as well. Why would you want to do that? Just saying. No, but you can. He's got the sad panda bear. He's got the hats, the t-shirts, the coffee mugs, all of that sort of stuff. And this is the important part. The Christ is King merchandise. Everyone loves the Christ is King shirts. We got them. Thank you very much for getting that. The Christ is King merchandise. 100% of the profits from this collection goes to onemorechild.org. And what they do is provide Christ-centered services to vulnerable children and struggling families. So they help out kids who were sex trafficked. They help out families who are in need, are hungry, that sort of stuff. That's the ad. I can't filibuster any longer. We're going to just go into the next story. Anyway, katiez.com for all of your needs. She's back. I just filibustered for like 10 minutes, it feels like. You're muted. Cannot hear you.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. You have some of this merchandise. It's real. I try to explain to people how soft the t-shirts are. They're so comfortable.
They're the best.
Yeah. I realized I didn't have, which one did I say? Oh, I want to get this one. Look at how good this looks in this color. Where is it? This one. Doesn't that look good?
That's a great color.
I know. I think I'm going to get this in this color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the next story. Okay, so Quest Fanning sent me this. Oh, real quick. Colonel Angus said he sent me something, so let me just chickadee check it out.
Thank you, Screwed Up Rebellion.
What did I miss?
My birthday next Friday.
How did they know it was your birthday?
I don't know.
That's weird. Thank you very much, Colonel Angus, for the $20
sweet
Venmo. And I have to figure out Venmo because I think talk to me after the show, Colonel Angus, and let me know if it says my actual name on there. Because I think I changed it so it doesn't. We'll figure it out. Or my phone, like any other identifier. I might have to set up a separate Venmo if people want to do it that way. It says, for the fur babies, easier than the buy me a coffee thing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You didn't tell me what color you want the light, though. So if you're in the chat, Let me know what color you want me to turn the light to, and I'm going to give the fur babies some cookies while you think about it. And like, I can't do like black lights. That's just a normal. It's a normal thing. It's just normal colors. Just find some normal colors.
So, Screwed Up Rebellion, my daughter's birthday was yesterday. And
Oh, because of the
which
balloons.
is all
Duh.
the balloons and the happy birthday. And yeah, my daughter's was yesterday. So,
look at that face.
And then mine is next Friday.
All right. Shake. Do you want the cookie or don't you? And he said black light too. What did I just tell you guys?
It looks like you're going to have to invest in a black light.
Could you please just pick any other color? Just
Or
any.
Just turn off the lights.
Any other color.
Turn off the lights.
Come on, sit up.
I will let her know that you said happy birthday.
Up.
I will.
Up. There you go. Zena's so lazy, she doesn't even want to sit up to get a cookie. All right, scoot back so we can see her. Thank you. Do a shake. Do it this hand.
I have 2 daughters.
Okay. Pink? Yes, I can do pink. I can do it. I can do it. Thank you for picking a color. Pink kind of looks like purple. That's the pink, and that's the purple. It looks very similar, doesn't it? All right, well, that's it. Oh, yeah, that's pink. Maybe I can do... No. Oh, there we go. That's pink. That's like Barbie world pink. All right, so Quest Fanning sent me this story because of the mugshot. Because of the mugshot. Look at this guy's mugshot.
I gotta expand this. Hang on one sec. Oh, lordy.
Spirit Airlines flyer tracks down her stolen luggage to airport employees' Florida house with her pinging Apple Watch. Is that it? No, that's a different story. Where did it go? Hold on, I'm going... There it is. Okay. I thought I had it pulled up. Oh, here it is. Okay. I had it. I did have it ready. There's an ad playing, though, so, you know, what are you going to do?
You got all your messages on the side of the screen, ma'am.
Go away. This is the tense moment a Florida man accused of grand theft was confronted by a local 10 reporter. This mugshot is killing me. After a Spirit Airlines passenger whose luggage went missing tracked him down using pings on her Apple Watch. Police then found pictures of Junior Bazell rummaging through Garcia's suitcase in the back of the store where he had worked at the airport, and he was arrested. Oh, so he wasn't even like a luggage handler. He worked at like the little bookstore or something. This is not the first time a Florida airport employee has been caught red-handed stealing from travelers. Yeah, look at this guy with his hand right in the bag in front of the people. How brazen. Both of them are doing it. In 2023, TSA officers were seen on surveillance footage allegedly stealing items and cash from passengers' luggage. Why do we have to say allegedly when we're literally watching a video of them doing it right now. Yeah, so that's that. Holy cow. All right, let me get my act together. Which is, it's difficult for me to get my shit together, so.
I mean, this could be years.
It could be. It could be. We watched that one. We watched that one. All right, New York social worker nearly beaten to death after knocking on a man's door. This person just doing their job trying to protect children.
Westchester County social worker tonight fighting for her life after she was attacked on the job.
Fighting for her
CBS 2's
life.
Tony Aiello with the details from Peekskill in Westchester County.
That is the Peekskill Police Department right over there, and this is where it happened.
The criminal complaint details a horrific crime. 56-year-old Maria Cotto punched and repeatedly kicked by a man wearing heavy boots after the Westchester County social worker mistakenly knocked on his door while making a field visit.
She came in looking for somebody that live on the third floor.
This man spoke to me off camera. He says the victim ran into his apartment as the attacker followed.
What did he say as he was doing this?
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. I'm gonna kill you, bitch. And she fell down flat on the floor, face down.
The man says he grabbed the suspect by the neck, trying to stop the attack. 31-year-old Hasim Jenkins is charged with attempted murder and assault. He's being held without bail and had skipped several court appearances on an October disorderly conduct charge. The union representing social workers told me, "We are devastated our member was assaulted while working in the community, a tragic reminder of the risks CSEA members face providing essential services."
The union told me this is the worst attack on a member in recent memory, and it supports actions taken by Westchester County to better protect DSS staff, understandably rattled by the crime.
County Executive Latimer approving an emergency contract to expand security escorts, and some caseworkers now going out in pairs to community and home visits. Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
Now, number two, you know I'm a noticer. I notice things.
Yes.
Did you notice that we did not see a picture of this person who attacked?
Why? Why is that? Why didn't we see a picture?
I'm not sure why, but I have I noticed.
Yeah, I know.
I noticed that we didn't.
I know.
So
I wonder why.
This guy not only attacked her, she knocked on the door, he attacked her and then followed her into, like, she's trying to escape, trying to retreat, get away from him. And he follows her into another person's apartment.
Yeah.
That's cray-cray. I cannot believe I just used the word cray-cray in 2024.
There are certain words I use to describe you on a regular basis
That's
that
one
I
of them.
cannot say right now on the air.
That is one of them.
But that's why.
Yeah. So I wanted to play that story because I just noticed. I noticed some things. So
Yeah, you are a noticer.
Now, get out your crime notebook. Take notes. Woman killed on her 60th birthday by husband who got tired of being yelled at.
All right.
Write down, do not yell at your husband. There's no reason to yell at your husband. What are you doing? Also, there's no need to yell at your wife either. So just stop yelling at people, I guess.
A husband is now charged with fatally shooting his wife on her birthday in downtown Milwaukee.
It happened on Saturday near Cass and Wells. Fox 6's Bria Jones joining us live after combing over the details in the criminal complaint. Bria?
Well, Ted, I had a chance to speak with Jacqueline Beeson's children. They tell me their mother was a loving Sunday school teacher and a proud grandmother who sadly only got to enjoy a few hours of her birthday.
So sad.
Balloons meant to celebrate a milestone 60th birthday painfully now mark the end of a life. It's sad. Milwaukee.
She had the same balloons that you did. Those are the star balloons from the $1.25 store.
balloons are now $1.50. I just want to let you know because I just purchased some. $1.50 at the $1.25 store.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
I know. Just ruined everything.
Milwaukee police say Jacqueline Beeson was celebrating her special day on Saturday when she was shot in the head while sitting in the car near Casson Wells. The accused shooter,
Did they just pronounce her name Jaqueline?
Oh, please rewind it. I need to hear it. Please.
You guys, I know number 2 knows what I'm talking about, but do you guys know in the chat what Jaqueline is from? Jaqueline.
While sitting in the car near Casson, her special day on Saturday when she was shot in the head while sitting in the car.
I gotta rewind it more. Sorry.
Balloons meant to celebrate a milestone 60th birthday painfully now mark the end of a life.
It's sad.
Milwaukee police say Jacqueline Beeson was celebrating her special day on Saturday when she was shot in the head while sitting in the car near Casson Wells. The accused shooter, her husband, 59-year-old Timothy Lewis. He's now charged with first-degree reckless homicide. The couple lived here at this home on North 13th Street. The news heartbreaking for neighbors.
Disturbing is what it was, but it wasn't surprising because he's already totally out of control.
According to a criminal complaint, Beeson's daughter was on the phone with her before the shooting. She told detectives she could hear the two arguing when her mother said, quote, "Put that gun away." She says when she asked her mom about the weapon, she replied.
She asked her mom.
This is the news reporter saying this, by the
The
way.
news reporters just said she asked her mom.
X.
Unreal.
And by the way, the pronunciation was Jaqueline, not Jaqueline. Jaqueline.
She just asked her mom. Okay, let's continue.
Exactly, screwed up rebellion.
Why, quote, "It's fake."
She was a caring person and she took care of the house.
It's fake.
Why does it put that on the screen when I'm trying to read?
Asked her mom about the weapon. She replied, quote,
"Oh, the
it's
gun
fake."
is fake."
She was a caring person.
The gun was not fake, by the way.
She took care of the house and she took care of her kids.
Fox 6 learned Beeson was here getting a massage before she was killed. Workers inside say Lewis set up the appointment and called upset several times. Investigators say Lewis left the scene. He was arrested later that same day. He admitted to shooting Beeson during an argument, telling police he just lost it.
That's her natural
Now, we
hair.
did look into the suspect's past, but we did not see a history of domestic violence. Records do show that the couple did file for divorce in 2022, but it says that was later dismissed.
What are we doing with the local news these days? Remember when the local news reporter was like some like attractive looking, somebody you would want to watch on TV who could pronounce
like a potato.
Like could speak clearly and pronounce words and knew proper grammar. Like, what is happening? What is happening?
She's obese and cannot speak.
She's gonna ask you a question.
Unreal.
Very, very, very much so. Excuse me. All right. We have just a couple left, but this next one, do you remember way, way back in the day? I think we covered it on Friday Night Crime, where there was the woman gets pulled over and the police, she pulls over, she turns off the road and goes just past some railroad tracks. And then the police car ends up parked on the railroad tracks. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I believe I remember this, yeah.
And then they take her into custody. Yeah, by the way, it was mistaken identity. This is not even the person they were looking for. They handcuff her and put her in the back of the police car. And then you could hear the train coming.
Yeah.
For like 5 minutes before anything happens. And the officers are talking to each other and are not registering that there's a train horn blowing.
That's crazy.
And the train T-bones this car with this woman who was mistakenly, she fit the description of somebody else. She did not do anything. She was just driving, minding her own business. She survived, by the way. Did you know that? I was telling Mr. Zed the story, and he had thought, because he watched the video, he thought I thought she died. She did not die. Thank goodness.
That's crazy that she did not die.
It is.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. There's a little conclusion to this story. A little good news for you. Woman who was left handcuffed by police in patrol car parked in the path of a train reaches a settlement in her lawsuit.
$500 billion.
Right? Yeah. A woman who suffered devastating wounds after police officers left her handcuffed in a patrol car parked on train tracks reached a settlement for $8.5 million with 2 towns in her lawsuit. The plaintiff, Yerlini Rios Gonzalez, suffered injuries including a traumatic brain injury, amnesia, broken bones, and a punctured lung in September 2022. Her attorney said, according to the Denver Post last year, 3 officers were at the scene of the crash in Plattsville, Colorado. That September 2022, Fort Lumpton officers Jordan Steike and Ryan Thromzak and Platteville Police Sergeant Pablo Vasquez. Tomzek did not, these names, man, can people just have the name like Smith or Johnson, please? Please. Tomzek did not get charged, but Steike was convicted in a bench trial last year for a misdemeanor reckless endangerment and assault, and Vasquez pled guilty to reckless endangerment. Do you see these names? Eric Zaporin.
My eyeballs don't work anymore, so I need to.
I get it.
Now I can see it.
Same.
Now I can. Yeah.
Eric Zaporin, an attorney for Stinky and Thomzek, told Law and Crime.
Stinky.
It's Stinky.
I know, but it sounded like you said stinky.
We'll call him Stinky. That's fine. I mean, he almost killed a woman, so his name's Stinky.
He's stinky now.
Eric Zaporin, an attorney for Stinky and Thomzek, told Law and Crime that responsibility for the $8.5 million of Rios Gonzalez settlement will be split. That amount will be split 50-50 between the city of Fort Lumpton and the town of Platteville. He wrote in an email, the settlement will be paid by the insurer for both entities. So insurance will go up, which means the taxpayers are paying for this.
Yeah. Yep.
The city of Fort Lumpton and the town of Plattsville and the city of Fort Lumpton, town of Plattsville, and Rios Gonzalez have reached a voluntary settlement. The city of Fort Lumpkin said in a statement provided to Law and Crime, the voluntary settlement is to the mutual satisfaction of both parties, recognizes the gravity of this matter, and allows all parties to move forward. The city of Fort Lumpkin will have no additional comment on the foregoing.
Is that hard?
No. This is just the snippet before. So leading up to this video that we're about to watch, she gets pulled over and there was enough room for them to pull up. By the way, they did not. Well, because there was 2 police cars. So the officer could have not crossed the tracks or pulled up next to him, but he decides to park on the railroad tracks, right neck dab on
what in any world, for any reason, whether you're a police officer or a regular person, does anybody park on train tracks at all?
No.
ever.
I don't even like if there's a stop sign or something. I
No.
wait for the car. I wait for there's enough
Yeah.
room, not only
Yep.
just to get across the tracks, but to get across the actual crossing, like
It's
the
crazy.
whole thing. And the reason being, and I used to not be as careful, but do you remember that story out of Illinois where that school bus cleared
Yes.
the tracks, but because the train overhangs the tracks by
Yep.
however many feet or whatever, it clipped the back of a school bus and like 6 kids died.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe we should cover that. Maybe we should do a deep dive on that case, you and I. What do you
Okay.
think? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
We'll do
guys have
that.
you guys heard of this train this crash? Like it was a whole thing back, and I think it was when we were in high school that this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was right around where we lived. Anyway, so she's the wrong person, but she fits the description of somebody they're looking for some other crime. And they pull her, they do like a felony stop on this poor lady. Picture yourself just driving down the street, minding your own business, coming home from work or wherever you're coming or going to. And a felony stop is scary enough. Then she gets handcuffed, put in the back of the car while they search her vehicle. And you can hear these officers just chit-chatting right now. And listen to the train whistle. It's so loud.
Immediately you can hear it. When you hit play just for that split second, you could hear it.
This is part of a longer video. Like the whole video is like longer, obviously, but you can hear it way off in the distance getting closer and closer and closer. And the whole time you're like, move the car, because you just watched them put her in the car.
Crazy. Yeah.
All right, we'll play the minute long clip here.
Is that heart?
No, that's time check. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Jesus.
Move your car! Stay back! Is that heart?
No, that's time check. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Move your car! Stay back!
I get like a pit in my stomach every time I watch that.
Oh.
346 patrol car was just hit by a train. Dispatch up to 346. Get us medical emergent. The suspect was in the vehicle that was hit by the train.
They were having to yell over each other to hear each other having a normal conversation. They were raising their voices at each other.
That is sick.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that is not enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is not enough money.
Here's the thing. Mr. Zed and I talked about this a little bit, and it was a settlement agreement. So I can understand why she took it, because I believe that she probably would have been awarded more money if she took it to court. But the attorney's fees go up then, and she would probably have had to wait 15 years if she even got anything, because once you go to court, it takes years and years and years, and she's got probably medical bills.
For sure.
She's disabled now, I assume. Like you saw the train hit the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can understand why she took the settlement, and I probably would have too.
Yeah.
8.5 mil, a third of that is going to the attorney's fees. I'm not sure. Does anybody know if you pay taxes on something like that? So some of it might go to taxes, but even
I would say you pay taxes on everything, no matter what.
Yeah. Even if she gets a quarter of that, say, let's say she gets 25% of it, that's enough for her to live on and support herself probably for the rest of her life,
Yeah.
So, and if she invests it properly.
I was going to say she still needs to invest it.
Yeah. I think people in the chat are accusing me of being a Polak. Not true. That's not true.
I'm Polish, but
You're
hey,
also
whatever.
she's Polish and French, guys.
I
Can you believe
know.
I'm even friends with her?
I'm French, Austrian, German, Italian, Polish,
So
Native American. Would you like me to go on?
what I learned here today is that you are a mutt just as much as Ava's a mutt. Do you remember when we went over her 23andMe or whatever the dog version of that is? And she has like 23 different
Yeah.
breeds. Like
Yep.
Ava is truly a mutt.
Mhm.
23 different breeds of dog in this dog.
Yep.
I have 2 breeds. I'm
Two
what
breeds.
I'm what they call a designer dog, like a labradoodle. I am mostly German and some British. I'm German and British, and that's it. I did the ancestry. That's all
I'm
I
a
got.
mess.
German, British. End of story.
A lot of mess.
Yeah.
I agree. Major victory. The French are just
The audacity of being French.
Yeah, I know.
Although I really enjoy French bread.
My maiden name is
Very French.
I mean, it's super French.
It's
super French.
It is.
Which is why, even though I'm divorced, I kept my married name.
You wanted to talk a little bit about Chad Daybell, so I pulled up a little story.
Oh, you did.
I will play it, and then
Good
you can.
job, you.
I did not watch any of I didn't watch the trial, but I did find a little news story, and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
You can tell me about it. How about that?
Okay.
Play. Maybe not. Let me refresh.
He looks mad.
Man who has been there is breaking news tonight about the man who has been called a doomsday cult killer. Chad Daybell was sentenced to the death penalty today, convicted of killing 2 children and his ex-wife in a case that captivated the nation. Dana Griffin reports.
It would be appropriate to impose the death penalty.
Chad Daybell, the so-called doomsday cult leader convicted of triple murder, sentenced to death. An Idaho jury deciding his fate on Saturday, 2 days after finding him guilty of conspiring with his wife Lori Vallow Daybell to murder Chad's first wife Tammy and Lori's kids, 16-year-old Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old JJ Vallow.
I lost everything. But more importantly, we all lost Tylee and JJ.
I was praying for a just verdict, and we got it.
Today in court, like much of the 2-month-long trial, Daybell sat emotionless.
What happens next?
The appeals process begins, and this can take years, if not decades.
The sentence marks the end of a grim investigation that gripped the nation starting in September 2019 when the 2 children were last seen alive. Daybell's first wife, Tammy, died a month later, just weeks before Lori and Chad married. Months later, the newlyweds dodging questions while in Hawaii. The following summer, the children's remains were found buried on Chad's East Idaho property.
It has been a nightmare that you feel never ends.
The state painting Daybell as a self-proclaimed doomsday prophet.
Money, power, and sex. That's what the defendant cared about.
Saying he and Lori used twisted logic to validate the murders, calling their victims zombies with dark energy that needed to be casted out.
I know for a fact that my children are happy and busy in the spirit world.
Dana, the appeals process could take decades, but if this ruling does stand, do we know how the death sentence could be carried out?
Yeah, we do. So Idaho law allows for execution by lethal injection or firing squad.
Ooh, firing squad.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I would go for that. Let's
know.
last 10 seconds of this, and then I'll tell you how I want to die.
But firing squad executions have never been used in the state. Jose?
You
hear a lot.
So I did follow the crime a little bit, but I did not follow the trial. let me know. Let me know in the chat, actually, if you were on death row and you were able to pick the way you were executed, how would you want to go? And while you guys are thinking of your answer and putting it in the chat, Number Two is going to tell us a little bit about how this crime in the trial.
This trial lasted over, I want to say 32 or 33 days.
Oh, wow.
It was really long.
I mean, not OJ trial, but still pretty long.
Yeah, it was really long. And they like he never went up on the stand. He never talked.
Okay.
They called his son and daughter, and you can clearly hear them, like when they're talking, that they were coached kind of, and that they were part of, like, almost not part of the cult, but over years of being brainwashed, kind of.
Yep.
You could hear like the cadence in their voice. It was insane.
Like they
to hear them
practiced.
talk.
Yeah.
Like just hearing them talk, and like they talked so similarly. It was very crazy. And then like his wife was already convicted. Well, his one wife that he murdered his wife of 20-something years.
There was a bunch of people, because the brother-in-law didn't, or his brother-in-law, her brother was murdered as well in Arizona.
Well, it was said that he died of natural causes.
Right. With a blunt force, like
yeah.
Am I showing
it's on paper that it was natural causes, but he was the new wife's protector, and he was the one that carried out most of her murders that she was convicted of. Like his a couple of her husbands were murdered.
A couple of husbands murdered.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a trail of bodies with these two. It's nuts. And then her children, the one that he was on trial for, were buried in his backyard.
Yeah, and I remember that that part of it where you could see. I remember at one point seeing something where you could see on like the satellite, or like the above, like I don't know if it was a helicopter or satellite, but you could see where the ground was disturbed.
Yeah,
on that
the ground penetrating radar.
Yeah. Exactly.
And oh my gosh, it was just nuts. And like he had a cult, basically. You know, he had all these people believing that they were part of a bigger picture, and you know, all the things that they were doing were gonna allow them to get into heaven.
Yeah.
And you know, there was a purpose to it, and it's just nuts.
So did you decide how, if you're convicted of murder, how you want to go?
I would say the quickest way possible. And I would say firing squad would be the quickest way.
Firing squad. My mom says live on TV. I'm not sure if that's what she's talking about, but I think, you know how they used to hang people in the town square? Why don't we have live streams of the executions? That'd be good.
Pay-per-view.
I don't want to pay for it. It's my tax dollars doing it.
But if it's like a high profile,
I'd watch. I'd pay.
Absolutely. And they could take that money.
You know, I would kind of want it free, like the government website or whatever, to have it for free, so then I could live stream it and then do commentary on it. Because if it's pay-per-view, you're not allowed to like then replay it. So yeah, I want to live stream those events. The Claw says MFSGA, make firing squads great again. Major victory, African driver ants. I assume those are deadly.
That Sounds terrible.
Yeah. Christos wants the injection.
Screwed Up Rebellion, man, that would probably be the most comfortable way to die.
The most comfortable.
The most enjoyable, I guess.
Most comfortable goes to Screwed Up Rebellion. I was thinking of something else, but now that you mentioned that, that's probably pretty good.
Yeah.
I would enjoy it. Let's just say Screwed Up Rebellion and you and I have a lot in common, and I think that
you win.
Yeah. I was going to say guillotine. I don't know why I stuttered. I don't usually
that would
stutter.
be an immediate death too.
Yeah. A guillotine is my answer.
I think
if we could do the fentanyl before the guillotine,
could we
like
pick
half and half, and put it on TV, live on TV?
Yeah, just a myriad
Fentanyl
of
guillotine
things. Yeah, on TV.
Yes, as I'm also life by fentanyl. So, oh, okay. Major Victory heard the question wrong. So, what's your answer, Major Victory? Oh, he says hung. I don't know, because sometimes that goes wrong. The hanging, like you don't die and you end up choking to death. Like
and then it's like
the death
seizures and whatever else. No,
the death by hanging is supposed to snap your neck, but it, like 25% of the time, I'm making that up, by the way, but there is a percentage of the time your neck does not snap and you end up just choking to death, which I wouldn't want that.
No, I wouldn't want it long and drawn out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I have 3 more stories left if you're up for it.
Yeah.
I am too. You know what's hilarious, guys? So before number 2 and I started, we both said to each other, we're going to do a quick show tonight. I'm not really feeling it, not into it. It's over 2 hours now, and I really could go another 2 hours. I'm in it right now.
Yeah. Neither of us slept last night. We're like, oh my gosh.
I sent her a picture of my Fitbit sleep app or whatever, and it said I slept like 4 hours, and like you had it the same, except you didn't go to sleep until later than I did.
Like 6 a.m. Yeah.
I slept from like 3 till 8 today. Right before we started, I was like ready for a nap, totally ready for a nap. But now I'm like, all right. So next story.
I was falling asleep on the sofa. I was, and then I had to get up and do a few things because I knew though once we went live, the same thing happens to me every time. I'm like not into it. I don't want to do it. And then as soon as we start going and I start telling stories, I really I like talking to all you guys, and I love that you're here talking to us, and I like hanging out with you guys. So yeah, I'm here. I want to put this on screen, but I want you to just take a look at the eyebrows on the newscaster. Because, and you'll know which one I'm talking about. When I say take a look at the eyebrows on the newscaster and there's a man and the woman, which one do you think I'm talking about? The man, a black woman and a Latino man. Before you see him, which one do you think it's going to be? The eyebrows?
Mm-hmm.
The woman.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
Check this out. Check out the eyebrows on this guy.
I gotta expand it.
Oh
Lordy.
So this is a good story. Here in my home state of Georgia, you know how squatters used to be able to do whatever the heck they wanted?
Man.
We've changed the laws. We have changed the laws in Georgia, which is great because I own a home, right? And if I go on vacation, I don't want somebody taking over my house. My sister, her job is they own lots of homes, and sometimes they're empty in between renters and stuff. So this is going to help her as well, because she's had situations where people wouldn't leave and they had to go through all this rigmarole and red tape and everything to get these people out of her home.
That's awful.
So let's take a look. We have this is a 4-minute 39-second video.
Okay.
Penalties against squatters are now the law of the land.
The new law comes after a series of Channel 2 Action News investigations exposed the loophole squatters were taking advantage of. Now, consumer investigator Justin Gray is looking into how local police departments are using their new powers to criminally charge squatters.
Karen, we've been reaching out to police departments, solicitors general, and local magistrates about this.
All right. So how do they? I know number 2 stepped away for a minute. So I'm talking to the audience right now. He says solicitors general. So the solicitor word is plural, but general is not. How is this? I know that's the correct way. That's the proper grammar for solicitors general. But doesn't it seem weird? Doesn't it seem like an odd? I feel like that is. It feels wrong is what I'm saying. Do you guys feel the same way when you hear that like that, those words together?
That's like sisters-in-law, brothers.
Yeah, it's weird.
But it's just it is right.
I know it's correct. I know. I mean, I understand in my brain that it is proper grammar to say solicitors general, but every single time I hear it, it's like, you know how when you hear poor grammar or you read poor grammar, there's that nerve it hits in your soul.
Yes.
Like it hits that nerve in my soul every time I hear it.
Like when you have newscasters that say X.
Yes. Yes. Or when somebody says irregardless. It's nerve.
To criminally charge squatters.
Karen, we've been reaching out to police departments, solicitors general, and local magistrates about this to see if criminal citations are now being written to squatters. Many of the departments tell us they are still trying to figure out how all of this is going to work, but South Fulton has already created a special task force just to go after squatters, armed with the authority of this new law.
I know everybody thinks you can go in the house and squat and sit there. That law changed the other day. That law changed the other day.
When police officers knocked on the door of this South Fulton home this month, armed with new powers to cite squatters criminally on the spot, the suspected squatters ran out the back door.
All these fake leases, and I got receipts for this, and I rented this. Nope. That's over with.
So we're basically.
I love this cop. Nope. That's over with.
Yeah.
Fake
That's how it
leases.
should be.
Well, and a lot of times the officers know that it's a fake lease, but there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it.
Putting these squatters on notice, the laws change.
Y'all squatting in my house.
It was a very different scene earlier this spring when police were called to Paul Callan's DeKalb County home.
They'll break in your house and then use the law to stay in there. Where is it?
You have the lease, man? I do. Don't worry about the lease.
Yeah, bro, you got a full lease.
Police body camera video was rolling as officers were handed what they suspected was a fake lease.
So you got somebody with a fake lease?
Yeah, I think the lease is fake, but it's no way I can prove it.
That's exactly. I've seen this time and time again where you're watching the police body cam and the officer's like, I know this is BS, but I can't, it's not a criminal issue. It's, it's a civil issue. So then the landlord has to go to court. They have to get an order from the judge. Then, so I've had to evict people recently, actually. And do you want to know how long it took to get, you can't put them out yourself. You can't set the stuff out yourself. You have to have the sheriff's office come and put their stuff out. Well, they have to be there while you have to hire a team to put their stuff out or whatever, but you have to schedule it with the sheriff's office. You can't just do it yourself.
Yeah.
And this eviction started last May or June, and we just put them out in like March. It took almost a year to get these people out.
That's crazy.
The properties that I manage, that I'm in charge of, are commercial. These people were in there doing business. and not pay. They owed us over $100,000.
Oh my gosh.
And we could do nothing about it. And they were still doing business, making money every day. And I could see them in there. Like you could,
What kind? Can I ask you what kind of business it was?
It was a rug company. They sold the fancy, like from the Middle East or China or wherever, like the fancy like silk rugs.
So there's no way that you can you can't confiscate the.
Nope, not at all. Just like that cop just said, nope, it's over with. No, you can't take their stuff. And you have to give them an opportunity to get their stuff. So you have to give them warning after warning after warning to get your stuff out because it's going to be set out. And then it's our responsibility to protect their stuff for what's air quotes a reasonable amount of time. And I asked the sheriff when they were out there, we had 3 right in a row, back to back to back. And the first one that I was out there, also, by the way, the sheriff's office is never on time. They were supposed to be there at 9 a.m. They didn't get there till almost 11. So I'm just sitting there. You can't even open the door. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I asked the officer, how long do we have to protect this person's merchandise or their stuff? And he said, the law says a reasonable amount of time. And I said, well, what's a reasonable amount of time?
What is that?
He says, I can't tell you that. So whatever you think is reasonable. And I said, I think 10 minutes is reasonable. He's like, I would say at least till end of business today. But generally, people protect it for 24 hours. So, you know what? I made sure that somebody was on site till the end of business. And then after that, if people came and picked up whatever, that first one was not rug. The rug guy was there for his stuff because those rugs are expensive. He knew he was getting evicted. The first place was a company out of China that closed down during COVID. And they didn't leave any merchandise there. They sold robots, like the manufacturing, like arms. I just realized we're not even on camera.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. We've just been sitting here talking.
Yes, that's okay. Nobody minded. Well, I had it full screen so you guys could see the people getting evicted. So the first place, it was a place called Dorabot, and I tried to get a hold of somebody. They just stopped responding, and they owed us probably almost 100,000 as well. But they left all of their office furniture in there, and it was a huge space. So there was all of this desk like this that, oh no, sorry about the noise. It's one of these there was like a bunch of these desks that like go up and down. There it goes automatically.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. And I got me one. I just knocked over their camera.
I got me one.
Well, this one is from a different tenant that got evicted, but I got one for my brother, News No Enemy.
Nice.
You might know him. I got one for another friend of ours.
If I lived closer, I would have gotten a desk.
You totally would have. Yes, you totally would have. But like I have a monitor there. I have like 3 more downstairs because they just left all their office equipment. They took the computers, left all the monitors. I have the arms that attach to the desk for the computer monitors from there. And I have 4 monitors here now. So people are like, oh, you have such a nice setup. That must have cost a fortune. No, people get evicted and they leave their stuff is what happens.
Nice.
And I protected it for a reasonable amount of time. And then it went in the back of my car. After that reasonable amount of time was done.
That's like that vape shop.
Oh yeah, my last job, a vape shop, closed down. I sent everyone I know who vapes like just cases of vape juice and stuff like that. All right, back to the story. Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
Every show there's a couple tangents, but that's
what you tune in for.
That's what you get.
The Crime Land and Friday Night Crime shows is how you get to know us because it's not so serious. It's not like
why so serious?
Why so serious? If I was that news reporter, why so serious? All right, back to the squatters. I'm very happy about this because it not only affects, like I said, my sister owns 10 houses and she rents them out to people. That's her career. That's what she does for a living.
Yeah.
And I don't own the properties I manage, but this also affects my life as well. So I'm very happy about this.
The officers just left, told Callens and the suspected squatter it's not a criminal matter.
This will take time. Like, we can't put you out because we're not here for that. And he have to deal with it with law, courts and so that.
They shouldn't be in there for, a minute. They should be, out immediately.
Are you selling a squatter home right here? After an exclusive Channel 2 Action News hidden camera investigation and a series of viral Channel 2 Action News squatter stories, Georgia lawmakers rewrote the law on squatters, spelling out that this is a crime that must be dealt with in magistrate court in a matter of days, not weeks or months.
So this is no longer a civil matter. Once this law was passed, it has now became a criminal offense.
Yep. Hi, yeah, it's Justin Gray from Channel 2. Are you squatting in this home? No, I'm not. You're not? This is one of the first houses.
I don't believe her. I don't believe her. Are you squatting? Nope.
South Fulton police have visited under the new law just last week. They determined the suspected squatter is in the eviction process with the corporate landlord who is looking to recoup $60,000 in unpaid rent. You feel like you all can react quicker.
60 grand this person is owed and they can't do anything about it. Also, don't forget that their mortgage is still due. You know what I mean? Like if these people have mortgages on their homes, the mortgage is still due.
Yep.
I know nobody does super chat, but I'm going to give the dogs cookies anyway, because I know that if you could give, you would give. So that should not mean that the dogs don't get treats.
They're good doggos.
Absolutely. I think with the current law that is now in effect, we will be able to react more proactively.
Let's go back to Paul Callen's home. Channel 2 Action News cameras were there the day marshals evicted Takesha Bailey from the house.
Takesha.
Look what we found right down the street a few weeks later.
Criminal trespass notice. DeKalb Marshals been evicted by the DeKalb Marshals office.
Jane Doe evicted here according to the paperwork, but look at the belongings. See anything familiar? How about the same suitcase? We noticed the luggage tag here,
dang.
Takesha Bailey. That's the same woman.
I didn't watch the story ahead of time. This is twice she's been evicted from 2 different houses. She's just going house to house, Takesha.
What the hell?
Takesha just going house to house. Her suitcase gave it away.
How do people...
I wasn't paying attention. I kind of want to rewind and see.
I wasn't paying attention either, if we're going to be completely honest.
House to house. I was giving the doggos Treatos.
I was, I don't know what I was doing. Oh, Major Victory.
Corporate landlord.
I'm going to get Major Victories. I'll make the dogs big on screen for him when the story's done.
Who is looking to recoup $60,000 in unpaid rent. You feel like you all can react quicker now?
Absolutely. I think with the current law that is now in effect, we will be able to react more proactively.
Let's go back to Paul Callen's home. Channel 2 Action News cameras were there the day marshals evicted Takesha Bailey from the house. But look what we found right down the street a few weeks later.
Criminal trespass notice.
In the same neighborhood.
DeKalb Marshals been evicted by the DeKalb Marshals office.
Jane Doe evicted here according to the paperwork, but look at the belongings. See anything familiar? How about the same suitcase?
My God.
We noticed the luggage tag here, Takesha Bailey. That's the same woman at the other home. According to court,
And she's not even smart enough to take her luggage tag off that has her name. The paperwork's under Jane Doe because she probably wouldn't give her name. And
What a
she's
piece
not
of crap.
smart enough to take the luggage tag off of her luggage that gets set
What?
out.
Now her name is
Also,
everywhere.
Look
What a
at
piece
this.
of crap.
How this is a
Yeah.
gorgeous, like this is way nicer than my house. I mean, besides the mattress on the front lawn and the overgrown grass. But if this was
You don't have a
manicured,
mattress on your front lawn? I've got several.
I keep it on the backyard.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should move my mattress.
records, the alleged squatters here claim to have been scammed. That's the same thing Takesha Bailey says about Paul Callen's house. Bailey told me in an Instagram message that she's no squatter, that she is a scam victim who was evicted from suspected squatter homes twice in a month.
So yeah.
I didn't do that.
I never just spent half of my tax money to move in here. I'm here on my
It's crazy because they're just gonna find the next victim, and Get out of that one.
But under the new Georgia law, suspected squatters.
Look at how happy this man is. Look at the joy in his face. This is a homeowner who was having to deal with it took me 7 months to get those people out. He would, if this law didn't change, he would have had to still pay his mortgage and not be getting any rent and have no place to live himself, depending on what the situation is. And the lawmakers here are actually doing something for the people who are not criminals. How amazing. Like the joy on his face just says it all right here.
Yeah. Somebody that's actually doing
right
doing what he's supposed to do, busting his ass
Yeah.
to have what he has, and
Exactly.
then some piece of crap is, just moving in,
Yeah.
slithering in.
Yep. Now he's
taking
walking.
taking what's not theirs.
He's walking the earth with joy in his heart because the
Yeah.
government is doing the right thing, which I don't say very often. By the
No,
way.
I know. I know.
Out of that one.
But under the new Georgia law, suspected squatters now will immediately be issued a criminal citation.
This is now, so y'all can pass the word around. All this squatting, the other day.
And so under the new Georgia law, suspected squatters are supposed to immediately be issued a criminal citation and have 3 days to present a lease. If that lease is fraudulent, this goes from a misdemeanor case to a felony. Another thing with the new law is that it doesn't have to just be the homeowner who reports this. Now anyone, a neighbor, an HOA can call police and say, we want you to investigate this squatter home.
And it looks like what you found, though, was some of the people renting the homes didn't know they were squatting.
Bullshit.
They were giving their money to a company that was...
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell a cuss word into the mic, but that's baloney. This woman is believing that they didn't know, that they were scammed. No, that's the story. I don't know if you follow these squatter stories, but that's their story every time. Oh, well, I signed a lease and no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I paid 6 months rent. Bull crap. No, you didn't.
Yeah, that's baloney.
I lost all my money, so me and my kids can live here. Bullshit. Excuse my mouth. It just pisses me off.
Yeah, I usually don't like to play shorts on my channel because of during a live stream or whatever, because it's just it's weird because it's the way it fills in the screen or whatever. But this one I've seen before. I don't think I played it on the show before, but I want you to see where these people get it from. These are toddlers in diapers.
Oh, this is gonna make me so mad. This is gonna make me mad, isn't it? It's gonna make me mad.
It is. You ready for it?
No.
Do you need to do a little meditation? Take a deep breath.
It's gonna make me mad.
Everyone in the chat right now, take a deep breath in.
I can't stand these videos.
Deep breath in.
How do these
Chat,
people?
Deep breath. Deep breath out. We'll get through it. It's a short. It's only a minute long. It's only a minute long.
So mad.
These are toddlers. These are toddlers, and the police are there not to arrest anybody, just to, be part of the community in their neighborhood, like police officers, like good police officers, like I know your dad did. When there's people who are upstanding citizens who are not committing crimes, you get to know them. So that way, when they are a victim of the crime, they know that they can come to you.
Yeah.
Like when these children are kidnapped, or I'm researching the Atlanta child murders right now. This is the kids that get kidnapped, and they're going to have this animosity towards police officers.
Yeah, this is bad.
All right, let's watch it. We got to get through it.
Shut the fuck up! You got your ugly ass shirt. I'm frying his ass. That's deep fried Oreo head ass.
What on earth? Where are
They're standing right there. The parents are there. This kid is assaulting a police officer right now. And it's condoned. It's condoned by these people. It's condoned by them. Imagine being a parent and first of all, allowing that language. Do you have any idea what would happen to me if I said any of
Oh
those
my
words?
gosh, no, 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 no.
I mean, it's not done yet. We're only halfway through. Deep breath.
This
Deep
is a
breath out.
travesty. It really is.
I just wanted you to see what's wrong with our society.
This is a travesty.
Yep, you just watched what I watched, and I almost have no words. But police are the problem, though, right, guys? That's a product of systemic racism. We can talk about instances of police brutality or police officers could possibly do their jobs better, but if we are not fixing the cultural problems that are brewing in houses like this, we're going to have a massive problem.
That's a good way to put it. It's a cultural problem.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would have had the I don't know who this is. I don't know who this person is, but that's a perfect way to put it, I think.
Summed it up perfectly.
Yep.
Those little kids who are doing and saying those heinous things in that video, they're going to grow up. And what do you think that's going to look like?
And you wonder why they end up like people are like, oh, well, they got shot by the police. Well, it's because they grow up like this and they think that it's acceptable to assault a police officer. And guess what happens when you run at a police officer with a knife in your hand, or you point a gun, or you reach for a gun with a police officer? It's not only like I feel so bad for these kids because not only is it a cultural problem, but it's putting these kids' lives at risk. These are children. These are innocent children.
That child has no chance and has been set up
to fail.
For fail.
It's so sad. Like
zero chance.
I know this is like cliche, but think of the children. Think of these are innocent children, and you're brainwashing them to be. And I feel the exact same way about people who brainwash their kids to be racist against a different race.
Yeah,
you're
agree.
setting them up for failure. It's
sure.
ridiculous.
So, this little kid is how old? Maybe 4?
Something like that.
Probably 4 years old. So he just learned how to form complete sentences, maybe a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And this is what is coming out of his mouth.
The law says this is child abuse. I agree. This is
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is horrendous.
I knew it was going to make you mad.
Sickening.
This next story I have for you.
I'm kind of mad at you.
This next one's sad. I should have kept that one with the lady getting $8 million for the end, but I didn't. But I saved this one for the end because tell me if you recognize anybody in this video clip.
Okay.
Think of guests that I've had on my show. And I did ask this person. This person sent me this clip. And I said, can I play this on my show? Because it does kind of dox his neighborhood. And he was fine with it.
Well, what if I wasn't paying attention that day?
Huh?
What if I wasn't paying attention that day that person was on?
This person has been on twice. And I think you will, I hope you, I mean, I don't know. The chat will recognize him if you don't.
Okay.
Turning now to severe weather aftermath recovery, just getting started in neighborhoods in Livonia and Port Huron. Chopper 7 over just some of the destruction today.
Family and friends are mourning the loss of 3-year-old Cooper in Livonia tonight. The young boy died when a tree fell on his home Wednesday afternoon. His mother right now, at last check, she is in critical condition, so a lot of prayers going out to her and certainly their family.
Like, that's so sad, a tree. And this reminded the other reason I wanted to play this because I want to tell the story about when the tornado hit my house as well. But let's watch the story first. It's 3 minutes long.
Yeah, so many thinking of their family. That tornado tearing through a Livonia neighborhood, causing major damage and destruction.
And that is where we find 7 News Detroit reporter Whitney Burney. Whitney, what does it look like out there right now? Because there was so much destruction yesterday.
Well, Carolyn and Simon, Houghton Street, where we are right now, where a lot of that damage is, looks much better than it did when we got here this morning. When we originally arrived, you couldn't even drive through this area. There were trees thrown about the entire street. Those trees have now been turned into logs after tree trimming companies spent hours here putting in work, trying to clear up this area. Neighbors who were here when that storm touched down didn't hesitate to jump in and help beforehand. In what seemed like seconds,
It went from raining a little bit to everything down. It just with the quickness.
You recognize?
Yeah.
Anybody? Oh, the chat's already got it. It's Kfar. Kfar's been on my channel during the story that we covered about that gentleman, air quotes or whatever, that like was getting handcuffed and grabbed the officer's nether regions, and the cop ended up hitting him, but it's because he was handcuffed behind him like this, and while he was getting handcuffed, he like squeezed and twisted the cop's sensitive area, and then there was a big controversy. It was controversial because you couldn't see that part because it was behind him, and all you saw was a kid getting punched in the face by a cop. And then he was also on just recently covering the Chase Allen case.
Yeah. He looks very different with glasses on, though.
He looks very different out in the wild.
Yeah.
This is Kfar in the wild.
He does look different out in the wild.
It went from raining a little bit to everything down. It just with the quickness.
Neighbors near Mason and Houghton in Livonia watched tragedy unfold.
Transformer popped, TV went out, everything, and you heard like big branches breaking. And when we looked out,
sounded like a freight
we could
train.
see, and we walked down because it's about 3 houses from us, and we looked down this Mason here, and it was just total destruction.
An EF1 tornado landing just after 3:30 Wednesday afternoon, bringing down power lines and countless trees and making it impossible to travel through the area. This is GoPro footage from this morning after hours of cleanup, really painting a picture of the storm's power.
We knew that thunderstorms were coming, but it just seemed, this intensity seemed to come out of nowhere. We had no warning.
One of those fallen trees taking the life of a 3-year-old boy and severely injuring his mother, who were at home at the time. Family friends spoke with 7 News Detroit off camera today, saying the mother was scheduled for surgery. They also shared 2 GoFundMes, which have already raised nearly $200,000.
By the way, that number right there, it's not great that they lost their child or whatever, but what a community to come together for a family like that. That kind of warms my heart a little bit. I love communities like that where they come together and help hold each other up. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that.
That's always a tragedy because, like you say, life you can't take back. Property damage you can replace. And it's just sad when you hear of something like that happening to somebody else.
A gut-wrenching reality hard for neighbors to come to grips with.
I'm just so sad for that family.
No parent should have to bury their kid. It's super unfortunate.
By the way, he's got 5 kids at home too. So imagine that happening. You have 5 kids and that a toddler dies from a storm that you were probably sheltering from yourself. It's like you put yourself in those people's shoes so easily,
I could
As
not
cleanup.
imagine losing a child. I've had a miscarriage before,
Mm-hmm.
but losing a living, breathing
Well,
child that I've taken, well, you know what I mean? Like
I do.
that I've taken care of for, out of the womb.
Yeah.
I could not imagine the heartbreak.
I know. It's really sad.
Cleanup continues. Neighbors say they're doing all they can to show up for each other because it's moments like this when community matters most.
Castle Gardens is a great place to live, and we knew that, but seeing everybody come out yesterday to help everyone, it was just so heartwarming.
Giving you another look at the massive uprooted tree at the home where that tragedy hit. This isn't the tree that actually landed on the home. This is another one in their front yard. Tonight, a lot of customers in this area, DTE customers, lost power. We did talk to the utility company. They're hopeful to have 95% of this neighborhood back online before the end of the night tonight. We've also shared information on those 2 GoFundMes inside this article at WXYZ.com. For now, live here in Livonia, Whitney Burney, 7 News.
Anyway, so I just wanted to play that
Thank you, Kermit the Frog.
just
Sounded like
because
Kermit. She sounded like
she
Kermit.
does. Just because Kfar was interviewed by the news and he sent it to me and I thought I would play it. And because I wanted to go into, I know it's 10 o'clock or whatever, but real quick, the exact same thing happened to me a month after we bought this house that we're in right now. And it actually brought our community. That's the first time I met Barb across the street. You met Barb at my party.
Yeah.
Who's a great I love having great neighbors, and she's one of the great neighbors that I have. And everyone, we had no power for 3 days. Here's the other thing is we hadn't even made our first mortgage payment yet. So I was freaking out when this happened. Dave was out of town working. He was a private investigator at the time. So he was out of town on an investigation. And I'm thinking, like, when you make your mortgage payment, part of that money goes towards your insurance. So I didn't know how that worked because
Probably scared to death.
Well, and you couldn't get through to anybody because the power,
Yeah.
the whole thing was down. So I was freaked out. I can remember sitting on my living room floor because we had literally just moved in. We didn't even have furniture yet. So I'm sitting on the living room floor with my cell phone. It was probably like a Razor flip phone at the time back then. But calling USAA, crying, just bawling, telling her what happened. And this woman on the phone was so good to me. She's like, Mrs. your last name, Mrs. Zed, calm down, relax. We don't have to do all this today. We will take care of you. And USAA made the process so easy, and it ended up being a blessing in disguise. First of all, nobody died in my neighborhood. Nobody died. So praise God for that. But we ended up getting a new roof, new siding. I got, like, this house was a different color that I didn't really like that much, but I liked the inside of the house and all that. So I got the color combo on the outside of my house that I wanted.
That you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So it did end up being a blessing in disguise. We did get a better siding. Before we just had that like cheap plastic siding. So we have like the good siding now. And it did end up being a blessing in disguise. And we ended up having money left over because some of the stuff that the insurance paid to fix, like the fence is dented in places, that's from that storm. A tree fell on the house, by the way. So our house was like damaged. And now I do not put my dogs in crates because the back room off of the kitchen.
Yeah.
We used to have the crates back there, and it was Buddy and Dusty at the time. I remember Buddy. It was a good dog. And I would crate them while I was at work in that back room. And an oak tree came down on that corner of the house, came through the ceiling, like probably feet away from a sharp branch that cut through my roof and the ceiling and was 2 feet away from stabbing my dog.
Yeah, you would have. Oh my gosh, could you imagine coming home to that or walking into that? Could you imagine?
No,
Jeez.
I couldn't. But I can't lock my dogs up in crates now because they can't get away. At least if they're out. Yes, I might have to clean up the you've seen Ava, the messes. I've sent you pictures. That's fine. But if something happens like that, she can go hide under a bed or get away. So
Yep.
Anyway, that's it. That's the show. Do you have anything to add?
I don't. I had such a good time tonight. I'm so glad everybody came and showed up, and
I
had a good time.
I did too. We're gonna do it again tomorrow. Number 2, you're welcome to join if you want. If not, that's cool too. I am like springing this on you now. We're doing a Crime Land tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, I should say, 4:30 Eastern. The outro music. People ask me about that a lot, and I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Are you gonna put the link in? Okay, I was gonna, but you can do that.
This is my friend Steven Baker, and his online music name is Know Nothing Music, and I put his SoundCloud account on there. So if you want to hear Florida Man, it is a catchy tune, isn't it? I really like his music.
All of his music is awesome.
Yeah, the outro music for Overruled was written for, my outro music is something that he wrote as well, the Brain Fog song. Totally different style. He's very talented. So if you'd like his music, please go subscribe. You can find him at Iggy Normus, or no, Junior Normus? Junior Normus.
Changes so often.
He's getting it all. Okay, so he's in the process of getting all of his accounts to be Iggy Normus Jr. from now on. So all of his accounts are changing, and it's Junior Normus on Twitter. Follow him over there as well. And on Rumble, they do a show, him and Frank, might be wrong, and Osiris, who's Middle MAGA Online. A show on Monday nights, and I want everybody to watch that as well. It's the weekly Rumble over on Rumble. Have a good night, everybody. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, and I will have guests. I'll have call-ins tomorrow. So if you want to pop in to cover a specific story, just let me know, and we'll have anybody who wants to come on. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man.